We've got the tarp basically in place, fairly close side to side, but we are a little bit towards the back. I've tried to pull on the tarp, just the weight of everything pulling down on the top. It's got a little bit too much friction to be able to slide the cover forward at all, so I'm going to have to use the lacing. And the instructions, they talk about D-rings. Unfortunately, this doesn't have D-rings, it just has eyelets. Oh, they're nice heavy eyelets, and they've been well reinforced, so I don't think there'll be a problem. But the tricky part is going to be feeding all of this lacing, a 1-inch web strap, through all these eyelets and being able to slide them easily through to continue moving on. What I think I'm going to do is feed from the end here back, wrapped around here, all the way up to the peak, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and that should allow me to reef on these and pull the tarp forward, and also allow me to tighten it up decently. Let me put you back on the stand and we'll see if we can make that happen. Side of the tarp is pretty well perfectly balanced. Wasn't difficult to pull that through at all. Up there at the top though, we can see that the gap between the edge of the silver and the front rib tapers off to basically nothing as we get over the top of the peak there. What I think I'm going to do is just continue to pull this lacing through. It's not going too bad at all. A lot easier than I was expecting it to be with these eyelets. And we'll get it laced down to the far side, and then we'll start tugging that side into place as well. We are laced all the way up over the top and down on the far side. We've got it tied off on this end. We're still fairly loose, but we haven't tied down the other end yet, so obviously we can't stretch the tarp tight until we get the other end laced. I'm going to leave some slack on this end, probably a couple of feet, cut it off, and I'm going to grab some kind of fire maker and we'll scorch the end of this so that it doesn't all unravel. Then we'll go to the other end and repeat. I won't bore you with all those details. Should go fairly quick, and I'll bring you back when we got both ends laced, and we'll take a look at what we got to do to tighten things up. There we go, end number 2 is laced. But now we got to go back to the beginning and tighten everything up on the other end so it pulls the tarp good and tight. Definitely I was able to pull this end fairly snug, pulling it back this way. Hey, something I noticed when I was up working on the peak that I didn't notice when I was putting things together. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there's a center line marking, and hey, it is pretty well perfectly aligned with the center ridge pole in the frame. Likewise at the other end, it is pretty well perfectly bang on lined up with the center. Let me finish snugging up the front here, and I'll bring you guys back when I'm ready to move on to the next step. The next step in our little assembly project here is doing the back wall. And what we've got here, this is the kind of the bottom flap that's designed to stick out. Similar idea to that. This loop here goes on the inside. This wraps around the outside of the pipe and then ties back to this. You'll kind of notice that the eyelets are staggered. Up at the top of the back wall, we have a vent flap that will hopefully allow some of the moist air out of this garage, because these dirt floor shelters do tend to trap quite a bit of moisture as the season transitions. So let me put you guys back on the stand. I'll point you at the corner and we'll start trying to lace this up. Unfortunately, the instructions are a little on the vague side when we're getting to this later step in the assembly process, and it kind of just says slack these end straps off so that you can get in behind and lace the thing up in place. Hopefully it's that easy. Let me put you on a stand and we'll give that a try. I don't know what all we will have caught on that little time lapse I just did, but the back is laced in. One of the things I didn't notice when I was doing it, and the instructions aren't necessarily the greatest, is that there's a lace up at the top, and you can see that the whole back shifted a little bit to the, well, what appears to be right in this picture, that way. They're a little tight in this corner. The thing is, looking at the bottom, I think we might be a little bit on the tall side, a little high, but up at the top it doesn't look bad. So what I'm going to do is continue lacing across the bottom here. We'll pull this down in place and probably get another inch or two down on it, and that get us a little bit closer, and then we'll kind of try and adjust side to side and up and down and see what we got to do to make this back fit in as best we can. I'll bring you guys back once I've got things adjusted here a little bit more. No sense showing you more of the same stuff that we've already done, and then we'll continue on with the assembly. That's basically got the back end put in. I think over time it's going to need a little bit more tightening. It would be nice if we could get a hot sunny day on it, but given that it's 2/3 of the way through the month of October, I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Maybe next summer we'll have to go around and tighten up all these straps, make sure that they're good. There's one step left at the back that I haven't got set up to do yet, and that is to bring the storm flap down. You can see the light here. This flap here has a strap in it that needs to go wrap around the bottom, and we'll have to screw in a ratchet strap up here somewhere to tighten that up. That's for a future step. Now we're ready to start with the front. We're going to use the lessons we learned in the back to make the front work better. We have this strap that is attached to the center, and we're going to connect it up there at the top, at the peak. That's a good place to start. I am going to back off the side straps here just so there's not quite as much tension. I found that on the back, underneath the radius here, where the rib makes the curve, it was quite challenging to fit the tarp in between the layers there. Just the weight of everything pulling down on those radiuses tends to make things a little bit snug, but certainly having the bottoms undone helped quite a bit. Let me put you guys on a stand and I'll start working on this. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I got going on. Well guys, I think we've hit a logical spot to end this video. We've got one more to go, I think. Hopefully we'll be able to get it done in one more video. So check back for that one, part 4 in this series. Thanks a lot for stopping by. If you got this far, can you give me one of those thumb up things? Give me a like and maybe consider subscribing. Get some more content from Doug's Messy Garage, and we'll catch you guys in the next mess. Bye for now.